All right. How's it going, everybody? I'm going to be making a video. This is basically just kind of documenting how things are going. This is not necessarily meant for any advice. I think I made a video like this not too long ago. I don't remember. Maybe about a month ago or something, talking about like my current routine, and I said, the best guru for depersonalization or whatever. So, basically, yeah, I'm just going to be talking about my current symptoms, how I'm recovering, or how I know I'm recovering, the system I'm using, and how it's been going since I have been implementing these things over the last maybe month or so. So today is March 20th, 2023. My cat is trying to enter the... Let's see if we can get her on camera, if she'll stay. Alright. This is my emotional support cat, and it did not work, but she's generally pleasant. So, I'm just gonna talk about like my current symptoms. Oh, she's hanging out. And the reason I'm making this video is so hopefully in the near future, I'll be able to look back at this and say, I'm done with these symptoms and the system. Okay, those words are very similar. The system I'm implementing helped me get rid of the symptoms that I'm currently experiencing, and I've experienced for a long time. So, like I said, this is not necessarily meant for advice, though. Of course, you can take what I talk about and use it if you want. So, my current symptoms, lack of motivation. That's like by far the biggest one. Basically, I think something that's perpetuated DPDR in my life has been that I know I should be doing more, and I know that I my deep down I want to do more, but because of DPDR, it's hard to feel positive emotion. So it's like, even if I make progress, it's hard to whether or not I make progress, it's hard to keep going, and I'm also so low on energy all the time that it's hard to perform at high levels if I'm trying to compete at something. So I was trying to be a professional poker player off and on in my 20s, and I'm very talented at poker, but I would never have the motivation to keep going with it. Even if I made a lot of progress, I would still just be tied down by the lack of positive emotion to like keep moving forward. So it didn't really matter if I made money or not. I just didn't really care. So then next is like the regular depersonalization symptoms, which is like difficulty feeling my body within the world I inhabit. So like there's just a big disconnect between like actually touching something, right? Like touching this mic. Like I know I'm touching it, but I can't feel it very well. It's just like a big disconnect. And then derealization, which is obviously kind of the flatness. Nothing really feels like it's like really there, I guess. It's hard to describe because haven't been out of DPDR in a long time, but that's what I remember, is that things felt a lot more alive when I didn't have derealization as well. This is also why I wanted to make the videos, because I know that other people suffer from a lot of anxiety. So from what I can tell, I'm not an anxious person. Like, I'm actually naturally pretty confident. Like, I don't really care that much about like people disliking me or anything, so it doesn't really bother me. which is interesting. So I don't have any anxiety triggers, but I do have like a baseline level of anxiety where I just never feel at ease. So it's strange, but like things don't bother me. I'm not like scared of death. I don't have like health anxiety. Um, I'm pretty like even keel on all of that. I'm pretty rational, but I still have like anxiety about nothing. So it's just like a natural state at this point that I don't know how to get rid of. But again, I'm just describing my symptoms right now. Um, and then another thing that happens is one thing that I do suffer from is like existential dread, which I'm kind of at a point where I've come to terms with everything. So it's like I've gone through the whole process of like existential philosophy. Maybe I would have done that without DPDR, but maybe not. Maybe I would have just been like more materialistic. But the point is that I still suffer from thoughts about it, even if it doesn't like. I know, again, logically, it doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, we're all gonna live, we're all gonna die one day, and that's that. And we are, whatever. I'm not gonna talk about the existential problems, but that's just to say that that's something that affects me currently. So like this last weekend was I've been like resting a lot and laying in my bed a lot, and yeah, again, even though rationally I know that it doesn't accomplish anything to think existentially. That's something that I'm currently doing a lot of. Okay, so that's the end of that section. Now I'm talking about how I know when things are getting better. So the first signs to me are always very obvious, and that's why I can make this part of the video. So the first thing that happens for me is that I need to sleep a lot less. I always have to sleep around 8 hours, which is very normal. But when I have like breaks from DPDR, I usually sleep around like 6 or 7 hours, and I feel really good. Sometimes less, sometimes 4 or 5 hours, and I feel really good. And I just feel like in my body, obviously. Well, maybe not obvious if you've never been out of it or whatever, but like, yeah, that's what happens to me. So obviously with that comes more feeling in my body. So like something that I always find myself doing is like I feel my feet against my sheets, like when I'm in bed, because it feels really good compared to being depersonalized. That's one of the signs that I know I'm getting better, because I've had that feeling so many times of like, wow, my feet feel so good touching my sheets. And then this is like a higher level one. So it's like when things are actually going well, like really well, I'll actually want to make money. But before I get to that point, it's more physical things. And then if I have a big breakthrough, I'll actually be motivated to talk to girls. Yeah. So I guess it's kind of obvious that you progress from like lower level brain activities to higher level brain activities, right? So that's not too surprising, but those are some of the signs that I always get that make me know for sure that I'm getting better. And then so now I'm going to talk about the system that I've been using, and I've developed over the last, let's say 3 years or so. Just trying different things, what has worked for me personally. It's worth noting that you shouldn't just like, you should try, if you watch this video, you should try whatever piques your interest, but these are the things that have shown the biggest results for me that I'm in control of. So first of all, I call it a daily philosophy session. I just call it philosophy. Like I write out a schedule and call it philosophy. But basically what I do is I sit down, put my phone away, put my get everything off the face of my computer, and I'll just like sit on my bed right there, and just kind of like look at my surroundings, ask myself, how do I feel? Why do I feel that way? And really just get in touch with my body, my mind, just try to connect the two. I'm not really deliberately doing that. I'm just trying to get an understanding of how I feel. And, you wake up in the morning. So I usually do this in the mornings. You wake up in the morning and you're usually, you were just unconscious for 8 or so hours, and you were dreaming and doing all sorts of crazy stuff in your dreams. So it's like you kind of like lose touch with reality and like what you're trying to do in your life. So I just take anywhere from, I don't know, sometimes it's as little as 10 minutes, but sometimes it's as long as like an hour, where I'll just sit there and ask myself, what am I trying to do with my life? Is there anything bothering me? And just sit there and think and like ask myself, why am I not moving forward? And this is helpful. Well, this video is already getting really long, so I'm not going to go too, like much further about that, or any further. And so I'm also going to implement daily grounding techniques. I am not a big believer in not that I'm not a believer. It's just that the grounding techniques have never, I've done plenty of grounding techniques and it's never made me feel better. But while I was doing my philosophy session, an hour ago, I was thinking, well, I might as well try to do, even if it's only 10 minutes a day, I might as well do everything I can to try to help myself get out of DPDR. So I'm going to implement daily grounding techniques from the course from Harris Harrington that I was talking about on my last video. So again, I don't want to go too far in depth, but I'm just telling you what I'm going to be implementing. And then this is a technique that I've never heard anyone describe. And so I just called it Z for short because I wanted something recognizable that I didn't want to like type out every time I was like thinking about this method that I use. So I'll just call it Z therapy, or just Z for short. So when I do Z, Z for me is like intense brain stimulation designed to trigger a lot of different parts of your brain. So I'm trying to remember how so the way I came up with this, I don't know if I've mentioned this on this channel, but I like to play chess, and basically I was just like curious about how people play chess in their head, and basically I just tried doing it one night, and it was really hard, but my brain was so stimulated, it was so difficult, but I just kept trying. And after doing this for like 5-10 minutes, the intense brain stimulation, it just triggered something, and I just instantly got DPDR relief. And that kind of led me to this idea of intense mental stimulation. And then throughout the years, I've done different things that have resulted in intense mental stimulation that I didn't know. I didn't have a name for it. I just knew that this intense stimulation would sometimes help me feel a lot better. And then other times I would just think really intensely about my life and just think about all the things I could be doing and develop these really complex plans for my life. And then that would make me feel better philosophically, but it also make me feel better because of the Z therapy, the mental stimulation. So that was another data point. And then another one was just something that I tried this weekend on Saturday afternoon, which was just really vivid storytelling. So I just imagined myself driving to the store, and I imagined every single step getting myself out of my room, out of my house, into my car, driving, and I would just take myself on this journey with like as much detail as possible, pretending to like see people and like make gestures at them or like wave at them or something, and it worked again. So basically what I'm getting at is like this Z therapy again. um, it worked for me. It's this intense brain stimulation that just gets like neurons firing or something that kind of, I don't know, by the end of it, I just feel way more connected to my body. Um, my, my theory is that it's just, like stirring a bunch of stuff up in your brain and, allowing you to, it's just like activating neuroplasticity. Maybe that's like a really stupid thing to say. I don't know like the exact definition, but I just feel like if you can stimulate your brain at a really high level, you're kind of in a flow state and you're more malleable. And it's also just like firing the weaker parts of your brain that that like have a difficulty firing. And so you've just got all these like chemicals running around in your brain. The last thing I'll say about this is another reason that I thought about this therapy was another time that I got like intense recovery was after doing a really high intensity training workout where it was excruciating, like so much pain, but I just kept pushing through it, and it was just another indication that like this intense mental stimulation was, I was onto something. So again, after, it's been years that I've been trying to figure out what's going on, but that's all it really is. It doesn't have to be oriented in a certain way. Like, it doesn't have to be oriented at fixing your life. Like, you don't have to have brain stimulation around like love or money. It doesn't have to be anything specific. It just has to be something that, again, it's just like really difficult, and you stay in that really difficult state and you just keep pushing, and like, I don't know, I called it laddering like 2 years ago or something when I started making these videos, but it's more refined now and I just call it that. Okay, so that's like my system and then how it's been progressing. So about a month ago, I was getting really good results. And I was like really motivated because I felt so much better. I started dating this girl. I was working out regularly. My overall anxiety levels were just down. And I was like thinking about business again. Like things were good. And then I fell off because I was basically just trying to stop taking money from my family. So I was just like allowing myself to be really poor, and I wasn't able to afford gas and food. So I stopped working out and I basically lost all the results. But basically, things were really good. And the reason I think it was really good is because I was getting momentum I was using Z therapy, but in the context of like, or rather I was using weight training in the context of Z therapy. So every other day I would be back in the gym doing these really intense workouts, and I think the regular dosing of that therapy combined with daily philosophy sessions was like grounding me enough to see regular progress. And then from there it's like it's a forward, like it's like a snowball. It's like you feel more and more, so I was motivated to do more and more, which made me happier and happier. And like I saw this problem going away. So things were just progressing really nicely. But then, like I said, I hit that setback. So that's fine. Obviously, I'm just taking those results that I got and implementing them into my knowledge base. And then, so it was the 14th, so it was 6 days ago. I started deliberately doing kind of what I'm talking about now, like my system of daily philosophy plus Z therapy. So things were moving forward, and I had a log on my computer on Google Sheets talking about things, how they were progressing, and they were definitely progressing. And then I started to overdo it by doing too much, and I burned out. And then now I've been like recovering for the last like 3 or 4 days, just like laying in bed a lot. But I think my my baseline has been better than ever. Not ever, but baseline has been better than my previous baseline, let's say. So that's the update video. Right now is like the start of a new week, so I'm gonna start using this system again. And I haven't been diligent about the system the last like 3 days because I've been so dang tired, because like I said, I burned myself out last week by trying to do too much. So I'm going to try to not burn myself out this week, and slowly build up my routine again. And I expect things to go well. And that's why I'm making this video, because I want to be able to look back and say, yeah, there's no doubt that at this moment I am quite depersonalized. No motivation to work or anything like that, but I'm going to implement these routines and hopefully get out of it and help some other people out along the way.